started here 3v3 Garvgus Ice Gate blue team. We've got two Warp Spider Exarchs. First up is Disposable Heroes, and we also have maximumbk. These guys are teleporting commanders that fight range combat by default. Lots of capping and harassing with some awesome control abilities. Also, where's he gone? There he is. And rounding off this blue team is Helgron as a Ravener Alpha, a tunneling commander with grid mobility and offense, fights in range combat by default but can get melee weapons and has a bit of support too to help out the other little Tyranids. Red team Zitadel is a Lord Commissar, very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also support and begins with a refractor field. This is the Death Core of Krieg DLC from Relic. Alongside ROGAL Dorn showing up as a Techmarine, starts off range combat, puts out some good damage, can also support with structures and repair. And rounding off this red team, Kain as a Plague Champion that starts off range combat, damage over time builder, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is very slow. There you see some Nurgle worship, granting some health regeneration. A Warp Spider Exarch attacking those heretics as he should do. You see him pushing forward here to harass early on, and since he's behind cover, not that easy to dislodge there. Did he actually get a model off the heretics? No, he didn't. Kain moved them away in time. What's going on east side though? maximumbk flanking outwards to the eastern edge, and this is a dead sentinel, and it just purchased the ground pound upgrade as well, so that was a waste of resources there for Zitadel. Really bad opening engagement. What the heck was ROGAL Dorn doing? Very strange. Very, very slow to move up here. That was odd. Was he just standing on his VP? He has shotgun scouts up, which will help versus those Howling Banshees and also any Hormagaunts running around. Warp Spider, of course, allows you to... He's all about attacking from an advantageous position, which of course plays in very well to the high damage, high speed units of Eldar. Their hit and run can often make him seem supremely powerful. Ravener Alpha taking down a tactical marine in melee there, and maximumbk doing good not to push in his banshees needlessly. Plague Champion on the west side, pretty much the opposite of the Warp Spider Exarch. Is all about attacking from a largely static position of strength, weakening your enemy and then launching devastating attacks with your relatively high damage chaos units. Will the Warp Spider have room to maneuver over here? There he goes with the group teleport. What's he up to? Getting in behind Kain with Howling Banshees and triple Dire Avengers. He could use the heavy gauge Death Spinner with triple Dire Avengers to do some very, very nasty things to that Plague Champion in tier 1. Heretics in retreat. Nicely done, but now Kain knows about the group teleport, so he should be a lot more lively to it. Looks like he's going to lose maybe all of his power there, and blue team are pushing this east side as well. Not a good start for red team at all. Lost a tactical marine model, lost a sentinel, and now Kain is pushed back on that west side. maximumbk with a guardian weapon team, going to bring that straight to the east side, I guess, unless he wants to come work the mid with the rest of his units. Where the hell are they? They're still up on this east side. Banshees are back at base, reinforcing. They have aspect of fleetness. Disposable Heroes with aspect of strength up on his Banshees. I don't think they quite got all of the power. No, they did not. Got 2 gens, not bad. But Kain is back out to defend. We have grenade launcher heretics. That was in response to seeing triple Dire Avengers, I suppose. But now he needs to deal with Howling Banshees. The Howling Banshees are chopping up CSM. Almost finished them off. 8 hit points. One more hit and they would have gone down. Can he finish off those Banshees? Desperately trying to chasing them down with CSM, but can't quite manage it. Didn't see him use the grenade launcher barrage there. Maybe he did while I was watching the Banshees. 500 to 402. Frantic fights on that west side, but Disposable Heroes is still dominating that lane. We have tactical marines forcing melee combat on termagants as they should do. Now the Ravener Alpha getting involved. Doesn't have a melee weapon, but is forcing melee combat quite a lot to try and tie up those tactical marines. And down he goes. He was underground, but you can still spot underground units as if they were infiltrated, I believe. And the Ravener Alpha goes down. Had the hardened carapace there, which allows him to burrow indefinitely and then spring up and disrupt. pretty useful piece of war gear. Meanwhile, double Dire Avengers are mid. These scouts with shotguns all around, just guarding the VP there. Very strange play from ROGAL DORN. Spotters on the way for Zitadel to help them shut down this Shuriken Cannon, which is causing problems. You have the Master Crafted Bolter up for ROGAL DORN. Will help him pick off all of this light infantry stuff with a pretty powerful piercing weapon in tier 1, almost 40 DPS, and has artificer armor also. Meanwhile, west side, Kain starting to push back disposable heroes, but he's still got that very dangerous initiation of a group teleport in behind Kain, so he's approaching very cautiously. He might want to invest in fetid armor because he doesn't really have a way to stop those Banshees getting in amongst his stuff, apart from the grenade barrage, of course. But you might want to save that for the triple Dire Avengers, because just allowing those guys to pour on all of their piercing DPS is not good. Doesn't really have anything to stop those guys doing that either. He's not set up very well on that west side, in my opinion. We'll see how he does. If he can just defend his power, get to tier 2, get a blood crusher out, he might be able to do some work. He's going tier 2, in fact. Not quite first. Maximum BK went first, I believe. 500 to 335. Here comes ROGAL DORN. Now here we see some good play. Coming over to support Kain, taking out a whole bunch of Dire Avengers. Wow, almost wiped the squad there with sheer piercing DPS from 2 armies. Banshee's getting a shotgun blast to the face, and then he runs away, and Banshee's coming out west side from Maximum BK. What does the Warp Spider of BK have? Absolutely nothing, in fact, into level 2. And Disposable Heroes is fully kitted out. Has the Entangling Web for some reason. Not sure why. Kain doesn't have any melee units. And improved target. I suppose Entangling Web can be used on ranged units just fine. Use it to lock things in place for your Banshees to get involved. Usually it's used to stop a dangerous melee unit from moving around, but you can use it in that purely control way to set up a Banshee attack or something. Double Tactical Marines now for ROGAL DORN. Did he call them in with a drop pod or something? I don't see one. And he is floating huge amounts of requisition. Did he not purchase any power or anything? East side dominating the blue team, I should say, dominating the east side. Raveners with Devourers. You have a Barb Strangler Warriors also. This guy's strangely split up. Might want to back those guys off. Oh, there's the artillery spotters dropping their smoke shell, reducing a range of all of this Tyranid stuff by 50%, but the Barb Strangler is able to get close enough. The Commissar Lord needs to be tying up those warriors. No sign of the Power Sword, but does have Aura of Discipline, so we might see Ogrins out in tier 2. Maybe. That was a shotgun blast from the Catachins, knocking down those Raveners. And we'll see what these guys can do. They have power melee and some dangerous shotguns, but can be fragile to area of effect. Those Barb Strangler, that Barb Strangler shot, they're not going to like, that's for sure. Bad engagement for ROGAL DORN. He sees it and backs away. In fact, retreats out, doesn't back away. And we're going to see a decap of the natural VP. I think Kain holding well on this west side. He was helped out quite a lot by ROGAL DORN's assistance, but otherwise he is standing firm. No war gear on the Plague Champion. No Eternal War on the Chaos Space Marines. That's because Kain wanted to get into tier 2 quickly, and now he's there and is going for a Dreadnought, it looks like. I would have got a Blood Crusher out. Maybe he did not realise how late Disposable was going for tier 2, I guess. We have Fire Dragons on the field for Maximum BK and Wraithguard. Wow. Got a lot of stuff out very quickly in tier 2. He needs to make this count. He needs to strike quickly before the enemy team knows exactly what he's got and starts to formulate some counters. ROGAL DORN might want to invest in some Assault Marines here. I know there are Banshees around, but with Merciless Strike they can hold their own reasonably well, and it would just help a lot to disrupt and have everything focus on the Assault Marines while he weighs in with some range damage. A good engagement for Zitadel, a really good engagement. Took out the Warriors with a sync kill. Down they go. Bad passage of play for Helgron. Down to Raveners and double Termagants, and Tyrant Guard is on the way, and they're burning down generators here. Zitadel's Guardsman. Does he have double Flamers? He does. Don't see that very often. Spotters being used what it looks like so far. Want to try and focus those guys down if they can, the blue team. How much health do spotters have? 600 between 3 models, so I guess they have 200 each. I think they're all the same. Chaos Dreadnought on the field then for Kain. Disposable Heroes has a lot of options to respond in Tier 2. We'll see what he goes for. You might want to back that up with some Raptors or something, Kain, or some Bloodletters to quickly tie up any AV that Disposable Heroes comes out with, any ranged AV. You know, he does have its aspects of strength on the Banshees, and they do have their Exarch. You see her there with the heavy melee spear, which will do some work against the Dreadnought since it doesn't have melee resistance in its default state with that autocannon. East side, meanwhile, Wraithguard are going to be tied up by a melee. Techmarine is gone for the axe of the Mechanicum. Around about 50 power melee DPS. Still with the Artificer, so it's going to be pretty tough. We might see the Refractor Field also. Tactical Marines with a Plasma Gun. Some mines dropped by Zitadel. I don't think they have anything to spot them up here. No, they don't. So that could do a hell of a lot of work. They do take a while to arm up. Wow. That was some serious mine usage on retreat there. That decimated those double Tomigos. Didn't quite wipe them out though, but they are now able to push. And Kain is all the way on this eastern side with his entire army, and his power's getting bashed here. He's going to lose all of it. But on the other hand, he's set up a push against this power. There's a capillary tower. They might want to take this down, as Kain is remarking there. It's better for them to bash this power since they are getting bashed. Just a little bit of a power swap there, I guess. Double Venom Broods for Helgron with ranged Synapse on the way on the first brood. Why is he getting double? Just for a Chaos Dreadnought that's not on his side of the map usually. 415-238. We will see how it goes. Autarch on the field for Disposable Heroes. Already has her Executioner Spear, which unlike the Howling Banshee's Executioner is a power weapon, not a heavy melee weapon. For 399, I should say, 238. A double cap now for Red after a shaky start. They are powering through on this east side. Helgron has had a couple of really bad engagements, I think. Now has a melee Raven Alpha with the Acid Splash, which is a power weapon with a Piercing Splash. 20 Piercing Splash, which is not a small amount. As you see there on the tooltip, Tyrant Guard doing work. Took out a couple of Chaos Space Marines. This guy has 2,500 hit points of super heavy infantry armor, and he's going to shrug off a lot of stuff and soak up tons of damage on this east side, allowing the Wraith Guard to do their work, allowing the Fire Dragons to get shots in, and allowing perhaps the Banshees to approach unopposed. But they're certainly opposed right now, getting a bit too close to that Dreadnought. Double Tactical Marines with Plasma Guns, which is a strange choice, but now that the Tyrant Guard is on the field, it's actually a great choice. They're going to do a lot of damage to that Tyrant Guard. Where's the Techmarine? He's in there, and he's now got the Plasma Gun. This guy has purchased 3 weapons, had Mastercrafted bolted in tier 1, then switched to his axe, and now has the Plasma Gun, and should be shooting at this Tyrant Guard. Not sure why he's not. Tyrant Guard now easily able to tie up the Plasma Cannon. That was a mistake, I think, from ROGAL DORN. Should have tied up the Tyrant Guard there. Here we see Blessing of the Omnissiah repairing the Chaos Dreadnought alongside the Plague Champions repair. Lucas discharges up. Can they finish off the Tyrant God? It's gone into shield wall. Shotgun blast on Raven Alpha, and this blue team pushing back through. They could get a power bash here. Red team were a little bit too far up. I think they desperately wanted the power bash, and they got it. It's actually decapped right now. Tyrant God in shield wall gives it vehicle armor and a huge amount of health regeneration. Can they finish it off here? It's now out of the shield wall and it's trying to get out. Looks like it will get out. Autarch dropped in by maximumbk, right? No, Disposable Heroes dropping his Autarch over here. Must have skyleaped her up. Red team are holding, but if that Wraith Guard get in and start firing volleys, it's going to be really bad. Plague Champion should be tying them up, but here's the Commissar Lord to tie them up. Level 3. And they're backing off now. Red team might be able to push back immediately without losing their power. Yes, they do. forcing off all of this Eldar stuff, and they finish off the Wraith Guard. Maximum BK getting a little bit too close there. 293-201. West side is looking very blue. They do have the power here, the red team. And ROGAL Dorn with some very strangely placed Devastators. What is this all about? Sometimes they will just set up the wrong way. He's very much wants to defend that natural VP, it looks like. Doing most of his map work and offense with his double tactical marines alongside the Techmarine. These guys are level 2 and level 3 now, so they are pumping out a lot of damage and are pretty damn tough, but they need to focus down that Tyrant Guard. Does not have Signum. Yes, he does have Signum. So that Tyrant Guard might die very quickly. A lot of resources spent on that Techmarine. Barely seem to use the Power Axe, the Axe of Mechanicum I should say. Late Champion getting caught by Banshees. Autark using her speed buff on landing, but they are saved by a Plasma Cannon shot, and now Devastator is suppressing them. Here comes a Chaos Dreadnought. Uh-oh, marked target on the Banshees. Looks like they are going to get away. That was a really nasty pincer. But he does notice quickly enough. There's no grenades on retreat or anything, so he will get away just fine. But he's off the field now. Blue team might want to wait for him to get back onto the field before they try and push a location. They still have that west side pretty nicely. Oh, Chaos Terminators hitting the field for Kain. Tier 3 for both of the Eldar players. Tier 3 for Zitadel also. It's the Ravener Alpha and the Techmarine that are still in Tier 2. Chaos Dreadnought has done a lot of good work for Red Team, but it's now being focused down by Fire Dragons, and those guys do a lot of damage. We see some of that, what's it called, demoralization effect from the Chaos Terminators killing stuff. Now they're trying to force melee combat on the Fire Dragons. These guys using the mobility to get away, but they are forced off in the end. In fact, only get away with 2 models. Chaos Dreadnought lives. This guy's level 3. Wow. It's always nice for your Dreadnought, your Chaos Dreadnought, to survive into Tier 3, because it gives you that option to get some very powerful AV out quickly in Tier 3 with the Marco Zinch upgrade. So the Eldar players might be wary about getting Fire Prisms up, because that Marco Zinch Dreadnought will do a hell of a lot of damage to those guys, especially if it catches them on rear armor or generally unawares. Chaos Terminator is getting a decap, then teleporting away, and Banshee's running into all sorts of trouble. Heretics trying desperately to repair Plague Champion with the Mucus Discharge level 3. Gonna try and keep the pressure up on the middle here. Haven't seen much in the way of group teleport usage since that early engagement. I haven't seen him use it at all since then. I'm sure he has. Look at this now, red team pushing the mid. And that's good play. East side is locked down pretty much. Helgron's struggled to make an impact over here since Tier 2. Not sure why he went double Venom Brew. That might have been a mistake. He's actually purchased range synapse on both of them. And that's not cheap. Range synapse is now 100 rec, 25 power, I think. So he spent 200 rec, 50 power on range synapse when he only needed to get it once. It doesn't stack or anything. That's the incendiary shell from the artillery spotters, and he is just getting wrecked here on this east side. He's running into a wall of fire and being shut down by artillery spotters. On a formation, hits these Kashrkin very well, but otherwise didn't achieve a whole lot. And now power is getting bashed. Red team pushing mid. Dreadnought is going to go down, I think. Yes, Howling Banshees though also fall. And now they need to pick their targets very carefully, the blue team. They have lots of upfront damage here, but they're relatively fragile, so they don't want to spread their damage out that much. Uh-oh, that's a really nasty Eldritch. Wow. Instant wipe on double tactical marines. That is what makes the Eldritch really unpredictably powerful. It can often just instantly wipe stuff if it hits them just right. It's very odd, and that was, I mean, talk about unlucky for ROGAL Dorn. He retreated pretty quickly, but got hit, and now Terminators go down. Wow, really bad end of that engagement for Red Team. And now they have a Fire Prism to deal with. That was painful. Really painful. Red team have the double cap for now in a way. Here it's being taken by a Bright Lance Guardian Weapon team. Now it's a 2-1. Blue team's natural taken back, and now a power harass from disposable heroes moving quickly onto the red team's areas, and why not? He's got the mobility to do so. You see the Autarch supporting those Banshees, and that is scary, scary stuff. Might get a full power bash. Helgron now has support of a Fire Prism on this east side. 108 to 114. And Zitadel is going to be pushed off, I think. Yeah. Spotters, wow, level 3. They do have their heavy mortar cannon. That is the tier 3 upgrade for spotters. But here come Kashyyykin to help out with their default hell guns, or hotshot las guns, or whatever you want to call them. Getting their sergeant back allows them to cap faster, and also I believe gives them a bonus to their courage so that they can withstand suppression a bit better. This Fire Prism is taking shots from Pathogens. Wow. And took a crack grenade. It might go down here. Fire Prism desperately trying to get out. And should be able to. Has the range and the relative speed to get away. Yes, blue team now launching an offensive on red team's natural. They need to decap it though. They're not doing so. No, still not doing so. They're fighting. Here comes a Phobos from Kain. ROGAL Dorn with some Terminators up. Is it going to be enough? He might want to get the flame up to get in there and do some serious damage to these blobs of light infantry. Does leave them exposed to Banshees coming in, I guess. And these guys are on their way to level 3. 88 to 102. Red team for now holding on to their 2-1 cap, and blue team should have taken the opportunity there, I think, to get a decap, but they did not. They are getting the east side though. Revenant Alpha on capping duty. Uh-oh, what's this? Is that Fist of Brockus I see? It is the Fist of Brockus. The Lord Commissar, and an amazing piece of wargear in team games since it affects all of your allies. Also, none shall fall. 78 102. Tyranids are up here to contest this point. I'm going to try and focus down that Commissar whenever you can now. He is now a super high priority target. Even when it's not active, you want to kill him as soon as you can, because he can activate it at a very crucial moment. So better to just kill him when you can. Avatar on the field from disposable heroes will soak up a lot of damage, which is very useful, of course, for Eldar armies, especially when it's double Eldar here. You can't really rely on a different faction ally to soak up damage for you with something big and tanky. You've got to do it yourself with an Avatar. Double Kashyyykin for Zitadel. No weapon upgrades for these guys. We might see some grenade launchers later on for that disruption. Maybe for one of them. Artillery spotters dropping their incendiary shell and then dropping their smoke shell, but they got absolutely owned and they're going to wipe out. They cannot move, of course, while they are doing their call-in animation, but after that they can still move and it will be called in as long as they get that little flare up. Librarian on the way for ROGAL Dorn. That was a nasty Whale of Doom from the Avatar. Bad engagement for Zitadel. He's down to double Kashyyykin and Guardsman. Leman Russ is on the way though. Double Venom Broods are still in play. Those guys could come very good in tier 3. Phobos thinking about pushing, but there's double Fire Dragons and a Fire Prism. That's a lot of AV. Carnifex now on the way for Helgron, and blue team are taking this contested, but there's a rocket run and that wipes out both of the Venom Brood. Nicely done. That was the second run of it. I missed the first. We have a D cannon on the way for disposable heroes, and Maximum BK is floating a relatively high amount. Oh, he's got a D cannon on the way himself. Just gonna say he should get a D cannon up, and he does. 37 to 100. Now it's up to the blue team to both defend their natural against a Chaos army, which is looking pretty dangerous with this Phobos. There's the Dirge Caster on the Fire Dragons. Now he might be able to push through and get a cap, maybe. No, maybe not. It's only the Plague Champion and the heretics there. 37 to 86. Might want to invest in some tanky war gear for this plague champion. He's actually floating a hell of a lot here, Kain. Not sure what he's waiting for. Really not sure what he's waiting for. He can literally purchase anything apart from a Great and Clean One, of course, because he can't have a Phobos and a Great and Clean One at the same time. He could get Terminators up. He could kit out his plague champion, get some tanks going. Could drop a nuke. 37 to 70. That nuke might be really important by the end of the game. Helgron not far off a nuke himself. Blue team continue to hold this east side. But for how long? Leman Russ has the elite tank crew immediately. Here comes a bunker, perhaps a repair bunker, but a medical bunker would also be pretty damn useful over there. Carnifex with a Barb Strangler. Obviously going to be targeted by that Leman Russ quite a lot. Has the Executioner. No, he doesn't. He has the Vanquisher Cannon on there. Very good long range versus large targets. Terminators with their Cyclone Missile Launcher might be able to do some really nasty things to the Carnifex. They're going for it. Got a few missiles on it, did a lot of damage. As you can see, ton of formation goes off. Gate of Infinity helping out those Terminators somewhat. Meanwhile, the mid is pretty quiet at the moment. Blue team are retaking a natural, but it's all about this east side right now. Wow, Helgron is not doing too great. He's got Ravener Brood and a Carnifex, and that is it. He got hit really hard from that nuke. And I think those Termagants got cleaned up as they were trying to bash this power here. Just got knocked into trouble by that rocket run. A zone throw on the way for Helgron. And why not? Nothing wrong with getting tier 2 units out in tier 3. Ravener Alpha is repurchased. Has his Synapse Aura for damage regenerate now. And Acid Splatter. So he's pretty damn tough. Blue team natural pretty quiet. Oh, looks like I missed the Phobos going down. But Terminators of the Chaos variety are on the field for Kain. Very, very low on hit points. What the heck happened to them so quickly? Was to try and put them between the two HQs there so they get extra health regen. All about this east side. Or is it? Is someone going to try and double mid? Looks like they are focused on the east side right now. Bloodletter's getting involved from Kain. Down to 2 hit points. But they do get away. Only just. Or do they? No, they don't. I think a D-cannon shot came in there and finished them off. What is this? That's a singularity, obviously. It won't kill those guardsmen, though, because of None Shall Fall. But now they are dangerously low on hit points for when None Shall Fall runs out. Bunker is gone. Zone throw in play from Helgron. Get multiple zone throws, I think, will help them slow down this Leman Russ and do big chunks of damage to heavy infantry and stuff. 37 to 19, maybe get a Neuro throw up. He's gone for a second zone. That's a Noxious Cloud from Kain. The cat is on the way for the 2-1 for blue. It's very close, 37 to 19. Meanwhile, mid are the blue team. No, he's coming east side. I think I thought he was going after red team's natural, but looks like he's coming. No, they're switching again. It's double Fire Dragons and double Dire Avengers and a Fire Prism. That's a hell of a lot of range damage, as you can see. Gets those poor Chaos Terminators melter damage, doing extra bonus damage to super heavy infantry armor. I think it's 25% more. So melters are a great way to take out those super heavy units that have super heavy infantry armor, such as the Avatar, of course. Which is a bit weird because I believe in a tabletop the Avatar is completely immune to melter and flame weapons or something. Plague Champion level 5 now has the Armor of Pestilence. No sign of his Plague Fist though, which will help him cap under ranged fire quite a lot. 29 to 10. That's the singularity. Looks like it's going to grab the Terminators. Only grabs one of them and he will survive. He's a Terminator. Gets back up. Brushes himself off. Red team have this east side, but they don't have their natural. Good little push here from Maximum BK. Where is disposable stuff? Is he completely over on the east side? No, he has some stuff in the mid. His Banshees are on the east side now using those gates. Maximum BK is fully in the mid, I think. Whoops by the levels up to 6. Does have the heavy gauge Death Spinner. There's an Eldritch on the VP. Was there anything there? I think it was trying to go for those Terminators, but they teleported out. Pretty decent usage of it though. He stopped it from being capped and is now able to try and cap it himself. Red team pushing quite well on this east side. But they need to be wary not to leave their natural unattended. Looks like Kain is taking it upon himself to try and defend here. ROGAL Dorn with a devastated plasma cannon, which is being shot down really badly from that fire prism. Now the Plague Champion on capping duty, and red team, I think, are going to get the 2-1. Is it going to be enough? Where's that heavy gauge? Doesn't have the energy to use it, I guess. Down goes the Warp through Exarch. Plague Champion unable to finish the cap though. The fire prism there just knocking stuff around. 29 to 10. Or was that a singularity that knocked him off? He should be immune to the fire prism knockback, right, with Pestilence. Trying to be aggressive now against the D cannon to force it off the field. What's going on east side? There's an Avatar. There's a Ravenant Alpha with the Corrosive Devourer now. And a Zone Thrower, but something just exploded into pieces. Avatar being aggressive and just moving forward like crazy. Just trying to push back the red team so something else can cap. Techmarine under the veil of time. And he's now got a melter gun. He's just purchased all of the weapons for the Techmarine. What's he up to? Avatar might go down if the Leman Russ decides to chase. 14 to 10. Red team though, look at this. They're going to get the east side and are decapping blue team's natural. This could be it for blue team. Helgron kind of unable to keep the pace up on this east side. Carnifex went down and he got hit by a really nasty nuke, and he kind of lost his momentum in tier 2 when he got double Venom Broods up, and there is the game for the red team victory. As you can see, the two Eldar players had sizable armies. Didn't quite have that durability though to stay in the field and hold the points for any length of time, but because Helgron was so thin, he couldn't assist with his monstrous creatures and stuff. So yeah, that double Venom Brood tier 2 was a bit weird and slowed him down quite a lot in terms of going on the offensive and inflicting losses. Let's look at the heroes end of the game. Level 4 Warps Exarch from Disposable Heroes of a level 6 and down from Maximum BK. The Ravenant Alpha level 4 got a bunch of war gear, had Hardened Carapace and Acid Splatter also. Zitadel Lord Commissar level 8 with Fist of Brockus, Carapace and Aura of Discipline, which was doing a lot of work helping out his allied marines, of course. ROGAL Dorn, who purchased every single weapon for his Techmarine, Signum and also Artificer armor, and the Refractor Field was up. How much was spent on this guy? Level 8 though, and a level 6 Plague Champion with Armor of Pestilence and the Mucus Discharge. And there you have it, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.